And that's the music that makes me not answer the phone or door for the next half hour, because that music means Coronation Street is coming on. And I am Jay Johnston. This is Corrie Chat, and I will talk about anything Coronation Street related on this show. And a little story, years ago, I saw a contest on CBC for Canada's #1 Coronation Street fan. And I thought if I had a computer, I was going to enter it, but I didn't have a computer, so I didn't. And then when I saw the name of the person who won, this lady, her name was Deb Sear, and she lived in Oshawa, and I thought, well, that's not far from Huntsville. Maybe one of these days I'll get to meet her. And sure enough, I came across a Facebook group that Deb Sear had put together for Coronation Street fans. I joined it, and not only did I get to talk with Deb Sear through Facebook, I ended up getting to meet her at one of the shows that Andrew Stuckless puts on years ago. And guess what, guys? I've got her here in the studio with me today. How are you, Deb?
I'm great, thanks. And it's wonderful to be here. Finally, after all these years of listening to you and Jean, I get to be in here chatting to the two of you.
I'm so glad you are here. And we've got Canada's #2 fan also, Al, but he's sitting in the corner because he doesn't want to sit in front of a mic. So we'll just wave at Al. Hi, Al.
Hi, Al.
But you've been watching the show for how long?
20 years.
20 years.
I wish it was longer, but
well, that would.
You got to start somewhere.
Well, exactly. I've been watching over 40 years now. And to me, it doesn't matter how much or how long you've watched the show. Just if you like it or love it.
Exactly.
That's what matters. Jean is in the studio here.
Hello.
She said she wasn't going to talk, but I know better.
I might, every now and again.
The girl can't help it. No, I'm so glad that you guys came up from Oshawa today, Deb, and I'm going to pick your brains. You have met a lot of the stars.
114, I think it is now.
114, wow. That's an accomplishment.
It's fun. And once you meet a few, you want to meet more. Mm-hmm. It becomes addictive.
Well, it's fun to see how they are in real life.
Exactly.
Because few of them are like their characters, but a lot of them are totally different.
Right.
You know, the ones that you think are going to be talkers may not be.
Yeah.
Or the ones that you think are going to be boring might be the biggest hoot there is.
You just never know what they're going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, the nicest people, most down-to-earth actors that you could meet. I know I used to get really nervous about meeting them, and then I realized they're just people like us with a job acting. And
that's right.
And most are happy to stop for the fans, sign an autograph, have a picture. And
now, who would be up there your most favorite that you've met?
Well, there's two that are my top favorites, and that would be Julie Hesbandall, who played Haley Cropper,
mm-hmm.
and Stephen Arnold, who played Ashley Peacock.
Nice.
Two favorites. But then there's so many that are just, you can't complain. They're just so nice.
Mm-hmm.
William Roach, Ian Paulston Davis, who played Owen. Nicest guy you could meet.
Owen was a riot.
He was.
He was a lot of fun when we met him.
Right.
And actually, all of us went down to Toronto and met him. We had
right.
dinner.
Yeah, dinner and the show.
I found out a lot about the show from him, like the food they eat on there, and the way that they talk in the background. They count instead of actually talking and stuff like that. It was very interesting.
Yeah, these are great shows that Andrew Stuckless puts on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does a really good job of it. And you can either buy a ticket to go see them, or you can buy a ticket with a meet and greet after the show, which is usually about double the price.
But we always do the meet and greet, don't we?
Oh, I figure if I'm going to see them, I want to meet them.
Yeah, me too.
And when you see them on TV and you can tell your grandchildren, that guy kissed me on the cheek or that one hugged me or whatever, it's kind of neat.
Yeah. So who would you like to meet that you haven't met?
I'd love to meet Liz McDonald. I figured she's been on quite a while, and
mm-hmm.
one day, hopefully. I really wanted to meet Callum when we were over there this year, but it just didn't work out.
He's in Gail's apartment. Just bring a jackhammer. You could dig him up.
Okay, next trip we'll do that. That can be Al's job.
We've got a job for you next trip, Al. Now, when you won the CBC title. What did you get?
We got trip for two to Manchester, 7 nights at the Marriott Hotel, which was the hotel that Blanche used to stay at when she was filming the show. A tour of the studios, spending money, and bragging rights as the #1 fan in Canada.
Wow.
Which I don't use very often.
No, actually, you kind of shy away from that.
Yeah.
Whenever I mention it, you're like very coy about it.
People think you know everything in that when you have that title, but I'm the first to admit there's so much history in that you can't know it all.
Well, a #1 fan does not mean you're the encyclopedia
Exactly.
of the show. It just means you're the #1 fan.
Everybody always thinks they're bigger than you, but at that time, that contest, I was very happy to win.
Now, what year was that, or how long ago?
I won in 2009, and then when we went over in 2010, there was another contest that they had with Quality Street, and they had 3 winners. So the 4 of us all went
you all went together. Oh, wow.
Sadly, one of the ladies that won the other contest was not a Coronation Street fan. She was like Mary that enters contests, which I was so mad because I thought there were so many friends I have that would just love to be in these studios.
That's
and
right.
Here she was, and she didn't even know who Jack and Vera was.
Oh, no.
But at least she took a friend that watched.
Oh.
But that was quite a trip.
Yeah, no kidding. And you've been to a lot of the shows Andrew puts together, which are really nice because you sit down in the theater and the actors come out and talk about their real life, their on-screen life, and some of the stories they talk about are incredible, the things that happen behind the scenes.
Oh, for sure. But at the end of the show, you feel like you know these actors more than you knew. Like, you know a lot more than when you went in.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories they share. Or remember Tyrone and Kirk when Alan Hansel, who plays Tyrone, was doing his impressions, and he was good.
He was good.
They were 2 entertaining guys together.
Yeah, and Tyrone did, one of the stories he told was about, he took Ashley Peacock's,
His mobile
phone, and he could talk like Ashley, and he called his parents and came out of the closet as being gay to them,
Right.
talking like Ashley. Ashley had no idea.
Didn't he also break up with his girlfriend?
I think so, yeah. He also broke up with the girlfriend
my
over the phone.
goodness.
You can tell he's a real prankster on the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, like, you don't get stories like that from
No,
watching the
you
show.
hear things that you just wouldn't expect to hear anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's what makes these shows so great. And you also get to meet up with other fans.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny, we go to the shows and it's amazing how many other people are, oh, hi, how are you?
Yep.
Da, da, da. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of camaraderie.
And with the Facebook, too. You know people from there that you've never ever met, and you meet them at the shows, and it's like, oh, hi.
You feel like you know them and you've never met before.
That's right.
Well, when we had dinner in Toronto before meeting Owen and Gary, there were people there that I only knew their names by reading it on Facebook.
Right.
But it was really fun to actually meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Corrie fans are the best people around.
They
Yeah.
are, yes.
And I've thought this for years, anyone that watches Coronation Street, it's very rare you're going to find one that is a mean bully type of person.
Oh, we're all sweet.
Well,
I think
yeah.
the hundreds or thousands of fans I've met, there might be like a handful that I just didn't get on with, but everyone else,
yeah,
you have that connection, and then you find you have other things in common as well.
Mm-hmm. So I've been watching, like I said, for 41 years now, and looking back, there's a lot of people I would like to have met, only because I want to see what they're like in real life.
Right.
And some people you meet, and you're like, ooh, they're a little boring or something. I thought they'd be more uppity. Who have you met that totally blew you away? Either they were really nice and you didn't expect it, or the opposite. Anyone?
I think one I was shocked with was Janice Battersby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but she was like so nice. Like,
Oh, she
like
wasn't
in
like
a-
this little
no, she
Spitfire
was-
loudmouth?
No.
Oh, so that's what I would have expected.
Like, I guess I expected her to be more like Janice, and then when I saw her, she wasn't.
Oh.
Owen, like he's another one. Nothing at all like his character. Thank goodness.
No, true enough.
David Nielsen, who plays Roy, another one. He's got like a great sense of humor. Nothing,
Yeah, I've read that he's nothing like Roy.
nothing like Roy.
No.
No, when I saw him, you see Roy Cropper, but he opens his mouth, and that's not Roy Cropper coming out.
No.
And the
Wow.
stories and things that he said. There was one when he was in the canal when someone was trying to kill him. They were filming on a Friday or Saturday night, and he had to put plugs in his nose and his ears because when he went under the water in the canal, being a weekend night and all the pubs were in full gear around, the water in the canal wasn't the cleanest, so they wanted to make sure nothing got into his body from the dirty water. And he said, between takes, he just singing this little song to himself. He didn't realize how loud he was because of the earplugs. But there he was in the middle of the night, in the middle of the canal, singing "There's No Business Like Show Business." And he said all of the crew could hear him, and they didn't stop him. They just thought it was hilarious.
That would have been something to see.
No, it's fun meeting the stars and getting a glimpse of who they are in real life, and also hearing the stories behind them. I'm really impressed with the fact that they don't give spoilers out when you meet them, and we see what they've taped 2 months prior, so they know darn well
what's going to happen.
what's happening.
They'd probably be in big trouble if they told fans
it's
what
probably
was coming.
probably in the contract.
Yep.
Some type of a disclaimer or something. I remember when we used to be like a year and a quarter behind, and then we went to 9 months behind.
Right.
It's
nice to be 2 weeks now.
It is. It really is.
We don't get Christmas in September the year
Yeah,
after.
yeah, exactly.
We're going to take a little break, and we're going to be back in just a couple moments.